Hello there, good people, what is up? Welcome, my name is Marco and I'm a full stack developer. In this new episode of the Instagram clone series, I'm going to focus on this, which is the user profile. Now, as you can see, it is very similar to the original Instagram one for the desktop version, of course. Of course, it's fully responsive, as you can see. Everything shines down. If you want to see how it's done, well then stick around till the end. If you like this content and wanting to help, well then don't forget to subscribe and leave a like and share. That helps more than you can imagine. This being said, let's jump right into it. So this is where we left off last time, and the only thing I've added is this images folder right here. You just go into public and create an images folder, and inside here I've just loaded a bunch of pictures. Now these are not my pictures, and I am referencing them in the description below, just check them out. I've taken this from Unsplash. We take a look at one, and these are going to be used for testing. I mean, I want to test the profile, so I need some pictures to see if everything is structured correctly. And it's always best practice, and it's always good to give credits to the original author of these pictures. So you'll find them with a link to the original pictures down below in the descriptions. So now that this is out of the way, I'm gonna do something very simple. In the views, I'm gonna create a new file, and I'm gonna call it HTML profile.html. Let's do a boilerplate HTML, and okay, we're set. Let's save this. Good. So let's take a look at the original Instagram profile. So this is the desktop version, and as you can see, it's extremely simple, but I want to keep it this way because it's fine. It's absolutely fine in my opinion. And if we take a look at it, we got a header right here, and then we have a second section right over here, and I'm just gonna call it, I don't know, profile header or something. And then we got the display of all the pictures. Inside here we got the thumbnail and the name of the account, well, the follow button of course, short description, and then the stats for the account. So I'm gonna keep it this way. I like it, it's simple, and I think it's effective. First of all, let me close this and let's zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. The first thing I want to do is a header. And inside this header, I'm going to give it a nav. Inside this nav, I'm going to have two spans. One is going to have, not like this, but like this, an ID of logo, and it's going to be Insta clone. Oh yeah. Beneath this, I'm gonna have a main, which is gonna act as my container, and I'm gonna start having a few divs here. So the first one is the header, we said, which is this one, this right over here. This is gonna be my header. And inside my header, I want a thumbnail, so I'm gonna just put it there. And I also want some profile stats, let's call it. So I'm just gonna call it stats. So these two divs represent the thumbnail and the stats. So now I have two, let's say squares or boxes. One box is this, and the other box is this. Now inside this box, I need this header, this description, and these stats. Okay. So inside here, I need, let's call it headline headline, why not? So everything is going to be here. And for now, I'm just going to put BeGeos, which is my name for the title. And then I need the details. And inside here, I'm going to put a paragraph with a span inside. And inside here, let's see what we have. We have posts, followers, and following. So posts, and then followers and following. Inside this span, I'm gonna put like a number, whatever. Why do I put it here? Because this is going to be, well, generated like dynamically once we have the API working. And so I want to be able to address this thing in particular. This is going to be the user follower. And this is going to be the user followed. It's not spelled like this. Not like this. Better. And I'm also going to give it a class. I'm just going to give it to each one. If you want to do this, you just keep option on the Mac, and on Windows, I think it's Alt. And just select what you have to select. So class, I'm going to give it a class of bold. Okay? Because if you notice here, like this number is like bold compared to what's beside it. Okay, for now it's looking good, I'd say. And then in the stats, so this div closes here. So again, I need something else, and I'm gonna call it description. So this is gonna be like a very short description. I'm gonna use a p tag. If I go lorem 20, I just got not like this. Okay, like this. Beautiful. Okay, let's go live and take a look at this. Beautiful. So now we have this, which is very ugly. It's all the same, but we can work on it. Okay, we can definitely work on it. So now that we have done the header, which closes this div, it closes here. Outside it, I'm going to have a new div. In this case, I'm going to call it profile pics. And inside this profile pics, I'm going to have a single profile pic. Okay. And I want to have 6 for now. So I'm just going to copy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these divs are going to be empty because I'm going to set the background image with the URL, just like this. And if you just let me do something, I'm just gonna copy paste this, which is this. So basically, I'm gonna explain in a bit. Now this looks confusing, but it's not. So basically what I'm doing here is each individual div is a profile pic, and the background image on it has a URL for this image. Now we're not gonna see anything because I haven't styled them yet. So basically each profile pic div has a width and height of 0. But once we style it, we're gonna see something coming through. Okay, so I'd say that the HTML, the markup is done. We have the main header, we have the profile header with the thumbnail and the statistics, let's say. And then we got the grid for the profile pics. What's left now to do is to style it. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna just style it. Profile styling. No. Styling, okay? So the first thing I want to style is the main. Let's do a split view so that you can see all the elements once I change them. So basically, I'm addressing this. As I said, I want this to behave like a container. So I'm going to use exactly the same logic. 90% and 800 pixels. Okay, so basically, I'm going to have this container to be either 90%, or if 90% is too large, it's going to be at max 800 pixels. Another thing that I want to address is the header. And this is going to be a min width of 100%. This is to take the full width of the body. Then I'm just going to give it a min height of 3 rem. I am going to give it a black background color of black. I want it pitch black. Of course, I need to put a color of white so that the text is white. And that's it for the header. Let's see what it looks like. it doesn't look like anything. Of course, you know why? Because I haven't linked the CSS right in here. That's a silly mistake. We can do it. Public style CSS. Now, okay, you can see it here. The header is coming through. Beautiful. Whew. I was lost for a moment there. Okay. Next, I want to address the nav, and this is going to be the container, let's call it, but in the header. So I want the same exact like features for the width, 800 pixel, so that it's all on a column. You know what? I'm not gonna put min height here because of some weird stuff. I'm gonna put it here. So the min width of the nav is going to be 3 rem. I'm gonna have a margin of 0 auto so that it centers it. And then in here, I'm gonna have a display of flex. And I'm gonna align items in the center. And of course, I'm gonna justify content space between. No space around, but space between. And this basically place the elements as far apart as it can. So as you can see here, and now I have InstaClone here, and I don't have anything else right here. But if you see the HTML, there's this span. And for now, let's put logout. This is where the logout is going to live. As you can see, I have it right here. So that's basically the idea. You know what? It doesn't look very centered. Why is that? It doesn't look very centered, does it? Well, this is odd. I don't know. It's fine. Okay, let's move on. Now that I have the nav, I want to address the logo. So let's just the logo here. And of course, I want to give it a font family because this is going to be different of Lobster, which is the same that we've done last time. And also a font size of 2 rem so that it's a little bit bigger. So it stands out. There it is. Look at this. Beautiful. Okay. So I think we can move on and start styling the header. So we're gonna have a profile header. In here, of course, I'm gonna have a display of flex because it's very convenient to display items, to position items. Then I'm gonna have a gap of 5 rem because if you see here, there is a pretty big gap between the thumbnail and the actual stats. So I'm just gonna put 5 rem so that my mind is calm. So I'm gonna put a margin top and bottom of 2 rems so that it's evenly spaced out. And this is what it should look like now. I got my space up, down, and this is basically the width. Okay, so now we need to put something into the thumbnail. Okay, so we're just gonna give it thumbnail like this. And we're gonna give it a min width of 150 pixels and also min height of 150 pixels. So it is like a square, and then I'm gonna have a border radius of 50%. And this is gonna give me a circle, basically. Now I want to set up the background image, and this is what is going to change. Now I'm gonna just hard code it, and I want to use if I go into the public and the images folder, I want to use this one, okay? Now this is going to change, of course, with the profile. This is what we're gonna save every time we save a new user. Then I gotta say background, oh my God, position. And we're gonna put it center so that it's centered. And then also background size, we're gonna do cover. Okay, perfect. And also background repeat, no repeat. Let's see what it looks like. And it looks like that. Beautiful. This little turtle right here. Okay, now it's too much on that side. And that's because, am I in the main? Yep. Oh yeah, because I haven't, yeah, because I need to set this margin 0 auto. So now everything should be centered, and it is beautiful. So now I got this here and the header right here, and the profile pictures will just be down here. Okay, now that the thumbnail is done and working, I want to style the stats. So in the stats, I'm gonna have another display of flex, but this time I'm gonna have a flex direction of column, so that they are in a column, one above the other. And also I'm gonna give it a gap of 1.5 rem. So this should look like this, beautiful. And yeah, I need to style a little bit of a few things. The first one is the profile headline. And I can say a font size 2 rems. And also I'm gonna put a font weight of 700 so that it's bold. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, beautiful. One last thing, I want to style the profile details, which are this. And to do this, I will give it display of flex, of course. And this will put the elements one beside the other, because the default in Flexbox is by row. And then I'm just gonna say a justifying content of space between. So they're gonna be as far apart as possible. Okay, now this is probably too far apart. So I'm gonna give it a max width. And just put 20 rem. Let's see if that's okay. Yeah, I like this a little bit better. Okay, and then I need to style this bold class, but I'm gonna put it in the globals. Let's see if I had global, yeah. I'm gonna put bold, and this is going to be font weight bold. Very simple. Let's see if this worked. Yes, so you can see that the number is actually bold. And I need a little bit of space here. Do I have it? Yeah. That's absolutely fantastic. What's left to do is to style the profile pics. Oh my God, what's going on? Okay, that's better. So now here I want to have a display of grid, and it's perfect when you want to lay out things in a grid system. I mean, the name helps here. So what I want to do is have a gap between each other of 10 pixels, and I'm gonna have a grid template columns. Let's see, yeah. Now I'm gonna use a repeat because I don't know how many I want in a row, and I'm gonna say auto fit. So basically they're gonna adjust their width according to the size of the element they're in. But I also want a min-max size. So the minimum size I want to be like 200 pixels. The maximum size I want to be one fraction, you can say. So now that I've laid out the columns, I can pass on to the individual pic. And in here, I want, first of all, I want an aspect ratio of auto 1:1. So basically this is gonna be a square, because in Instagram pictures are supposed to be squares. And then I'm gonna play with this. The position is gonna be center, of course. And the size is going to be cover. And you'll see what kind of effect we're gonna obtain with this. And then the repeat, I'm gonna say no repeat. Let's see the results. And look at this. It's already done. I mean, I think it's pretty similar. We don't have this follow button, but for now we're just gonna leave it there. And maybe the gap is different, but I'd say we're there. I mean, so as I was saying before, putting cover as the background size is going to basically crop the image. But this is the same exact thing that Instagram does. When you put an image that is not squared, it's gonna crop your image, something like this. If instead of cover, I put contain. This is going to be a little bit different, and it's going to be like this. So now the height of the columns of the individual rows is decided by the grid, the display grid. But now the picture wants to be contained. So it's going to take the full width. You're going to see the full pictures, but you're going to have white borders up and down because it's too, it's too short. Okay. And this can be an option that we can put once we upload images. But for now, I'm just going to leave it cover because in my opinion, it makes a better grid, better looking grid. Now, the one last thing that I need to do here is that if I shrink this, it's not very responsive. Yeah, you see that everything, the grid is responsive, and this is amazing. Okay, as you can see, all the images basically remains a square, and this is thanks to the aspect ratio, which is always preserved. But here it gets ugly. So let's adjust this, and we're gonna do this with a media query. To do a media query, you just do media, and it's gonna be a max width. And I'm just gonna put like 630 pixel, just like this. And of course, I want to adjust the header. And the thing that I want to do is to change the flex direction, because now it's row, and I want to change it to column. Okay. And once you do that, you're gonna align items in the center so that it's center. I'm gonna have a gap of 1 rem. If I don't do this, the gap is gonna stay 5 rems, and it's gonna be too much. So if I do this now and try and shrink it again, we should see this going onto a new line, and it becomes like this, which is super, super nice. Let's see what it looks like on a Pixel 2 XL. And I'd say this is pretty responsive. You see all the pictures and you see the profile, the logo, but yeah, everything looks fine. I think we're done for now. Good. So now this is the final result for the profile. And of course, in the next episode, I'm going to focus on the main page where you can just browse through different pictures, and that's it. So for this episode, I think this is all. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this, please leave a like and think about subscribing if you want to help this channel. And I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye bye.